Who else is in the building? Biz. No, it's not safe for cornbread snatchers. While supplies last, go to Tim Black Mug and get your Tim Black Legacy Mugs, Johnson. Thank you very much, Black Mama, for supporting this endeavor while supplies last, folks. Thank you. The Tim Black Legacy Mug. Thank you, Black Mama, for supporting that. My people, my people, my people. We are in the building, man. Tonight, I'm trying to tell you. It's going to be a barn burner tonight, baby. We about to, oh, man. You're going to be glad you showed up, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's Monday, but it's a fun day. Somebody's going to have a case of the Mondays. I'm trying to tell you, man, I don't know what came over me, man. Man. It's something. It's something, family. Give it up for my people on X and my people on Facebook. Thank y'all for rounding out the watchers. My people on YouTube, always. The Tim Black Wolfpack in the building, representing the show and keeping us going, man. Thank you for what you do. I want to thank everybody who's contributed to the show over the years and those that are doing so right now, man. Thank y'all for being a part of this, man. Thank you for sharing the show. Shout out to my brother Cole Black and my little brother Cool Breeze. Yeah, a little minor surgery in and out, man. That's my brother, man. Hope he told me all is well. Just letting you know you're in my thoughts, my brother. You know, yeah. Rude Boy, MC, Chris Jones, D. Harris, The Righteous Anger. Long overdue. Oh, man. I like that. Give it up for that. Give it up for that. Funny, man. These people funny, Johnson. I got so much here, man. I got so much here. Here. The righteous anger that will destroy my brothers, and they will know. I forget how that goes, but damn. So, woo! Yeah, people. If you're new to the show, let me let you know, I'm what you call a Democratic Party hater. I tell people this all the time. I say it. It's like nobody in cable news ever says this. I come out, look, I don't understand what's going on, man. I come out here and I say I'm a Democratic Party hater. I say it 4 or 5 times a week, Johnson. And I still got people that don't get it. Like, what I gotta do? I told you I'm a Democratic Party hater. Now, there are policies I like, whether they be adopted by any party or not. I'ma always say we need health care. I'ma also always say you need a gun. If you live in certain places, you might need a gun. And I don't begrudge you that. Of course, how you use it's important. And safe storage is important and all that. But I would never be against someone's Second Amendment rights. Not in a country that got more guns than people. What's your plan to change that? You know, the fact we got more guns than people in this country. Do you have, if y'all had a way to give it to all the guns, I'd be for that. Every gun. But you don't. So until that day comes, I support that. See how easy that is? You ain't got to kiss Trump's ass. You ain't got to kiss up to AOC or the Chuck Schumer. None of them. Just be about your business. Man, I'm losing my patience. I'm losing my patience. Yeah. Yeah, I think they got a problem when I say I'm a Democratic Party hater because they don't hate the Democrats. They say, I hate everybody. Yeah, but you still side with them. You still side with them. Maybe because they have not destroyed your legacy. Maybe because they ain't been lying to you like they've been lying to black folks for 55 years. If it ever crossed your mind that if it wasn't for black people voting for the Democrats, they never win a fucking election. Have you ever considered that? And we still at the bottom of the barrel, Johnson. I'm sorry. See what you did. See what you did. I'm just trying to get started tonight. You're not supposed to be had to hit the buzzer off the Brizzake. These people don't get it, man. They just want to kiss ass. I don't do that. I don't like that. I want to give a big shout out to my friend Dana with the data, though. Give it up for Dana with the data, man. Give it up for that. Yeah, Dana with the data was my special guest. We recorded that joint, man. We had a great time, great conversation, folks. It will premiere to the general public on Friday. But if you are a Tim Black Wolfpack member, you can go to Patreon and get it. If you're a Tim Black Wolfpack member, you can go on YouTube. Paid member, that is. If you're a paid member of either one of my platforms, on Patreon or on YouTube, you get a sneak peek. I gotta give my people something. You know, when you buy mugs from me, you get free stickers and wristbands and stuff. You know? But when you become a Tim Black Wolfpack member, I'm going to start making it a practice, man, to find ways to make perks real, man. It's not easy because I put out so much content, but I can give you access early to my full-length video interviews, conversations. I don't even call them interviews no more. Conversations, man. So look, if you sign up, it's only $5 a month. I ain't worth $5 a month. Well, then I guess you don't like the show that much. But if you sign up with the Tim Black Wolfpack, you get early access to everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's my commitment, man. That's one of the things we're trying to do to make it show appreciation to people. You know, to give them something for supporting this channel. You know what I'm saying? I got to give them something. So I feel good about it, man. Dana and I talked about a lot, and I hope that you guys come through. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think, man. And go find Dana over there. She's over there, Dana with the data. The real Dana on YouTube, man. That's my sister. Brick City. Originally Brick City in the house. Yeah, man. We doing what we do. How's the volume? Everybody okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear the show okay? I hope so. My brother said the man's got me drowsy. Yeah, that's true. And what else, man? Okay, so look, man, this is the Tim Black Wolfpack Show, the Tim Black Show. And I cover breaking news, U.S. politics, and black culture. And that's what we do on this channel, man. And we've been doing that for a while. We've been doing this 13, 14 years, Johnson. I've been doing this full time for the last 10, 12 years, man, 12 years. Full time, no other job. This is it, man. And we get a lot done. We do. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to tell y'all what we do. So yeah. Oh, you gonna get BS detected tonight, fam. Who said that? Someone said, looking forward to the BS detector. Oh, you're gonna get it's gonna be rang a couple times tonight. Who said that? What's her name? Juella Francis, you about to hear it. I got a couple of BS detectors that's gonna go out tonight. Yeah, man. I be doing a lot of prep work behind the scenes, y'all. A lot of prep work. So look, let's get into it because we got a lot to cover tonight. It's going to be a very spirited show. I got to tell y'all, it ain't for the faint at heart. We're going to get at them. Okay? All right, let's do this. This show is brought to you once again by the Tim Black Mug. Go to timblackmug.com. And with no further to do, man, this is it. This is it. This is my Monday back, man. Put the chopstick on a little hard. I don't want to be up here looking like I ate fried chicken. Y'all know what's on the itinerary? My bad. Itinerary, Carmelo clowns. I don't know why I put Carmelo clowns, you know, but there's a clown in the Carmelo camp. Trump's colonizer welcome party. Rodney Hinton's fallout and Diddy's day in court. We're going to get into it, man. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it cracking. Let's get it started. Welcome to the Tim Black Show, y'all. So I set myself up right here. How we going to go over here? Let's do it.
We're now getting a closer look at how deputies.
Okay. That video I just showed you is we get a lot of rounds around social media, and a lot of people are being able to they're trying to say what it meant. You know, what it means to them. And you know what? I love the idea of what people are projecting onto this video. They're saying that what you just witnessed there was a black cop getting on the elevator with Rodney Hinton Jr., seeing that the brother was on the elevator with the boys in blue, the white guys, and wanted to make sure everything was cool. And that he was not going to face any type of, let's just say, extracurricular activity from the officers. That's what the general consensus is in the black community surrounding that video clip. Now, that's a lot of putting it together. That's a lot of reaching, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's what took place. But I can frame this for you so you can make your own determination here. See, Hinton was at the UC Medical Center where he was taken after his arrest on May 2nd, 2025. You'll notice in the video, Hinton, you'll notice here, folks, there is a date up here, date and time, right? So 10/28, what's that, 12/28, it appears to be, 5 second, May 2nd. This is right after the accident. This is at the, when he was taken to the hospital to be checked out, okay? That's where this took place. So he was being escorted to the Clermont County Jail. And he was to be held due to the high profile nature of the case. So they're going to take him into another location. The footage shows Hinton still in a hospital gown, handcuffed and accompanied by officers. A black sheriff's deputy steps into the elevator facing Hinton and the white officers, which have been interpreted on social media as a protective gesture. Like I stated, folks, I don't know why. I would love to talk to this officer to find out. So why is he in this elevator, folks? Were they taking him for a rough ride on the elevator? What was happening? Well, he was being escorted. The process of moving Hinton from the hospital to a waiting police cruiser for the transport to the Clermont County Jail. Okay, so once at the Clermont County Jail, he underwent intake procedures. As this video continues, folks, you're going to see that because with Dana with the data, we covered that this weekend in a segment that's not often talked about, but it's very important. Check this out.
Jr. You see the video? We're now getting a closer look at how deputies from Claremont County interacted with Rodney Hinton Jr. You see the video playing out behind me. This is the man accused of killing Deputy Henderson after he was released from the hospital, booked into jail, and later taken to court. WCPO 9 News reporter Sean Delancey breaks down the body cam footage.
Officers and deputies enter a Cincinnati police holding cell where
Those are the ones that were in the elevator with him.
Rodney Hinton Jr. is sleeping.
Wake up. Wake up.
Still in his hospital gown, Claremont County deputies called to bring Hinton to their jail in Batavia, shackle the man accused of killing Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson just hours earlier.
Are you able to stand on your own? Try.
Deputies take Hinton to the Claremont County Jail,
We're going to get in this door over here.
where another deputy ran him through a series of questions about his mental and physical state.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Do you have a serious medical or mental health issue that needs immediate attention? Is that a yes or a no? Have you recently considered attempted suicide? No. You want to hurt yourself or anybody else? No.
In court Tuesday, Hinton's defense attorney requested a mental competency evaluation for him. The attorney argued that Hinton was mentally ill at the time. Police say he hit and killed Deputy Larry Henderson with his car.
I want to make certain that this young man is treated as a mentally ill person and not as a cop killer.
An official evaluation will have to wait until an indictment. However, the judge did recommend that Henderson have all mental health resources available to him while in custody. The rest of the new video
Do your hands for me?
shows deputies transporting him to the jail, small snippets of conversation, polite.
Leave his hands go for a second. Hands go, please.
Each move,
I got your back for balance. I got your back.
law enforcement seemingly doing whatever possible
You ready? Step down slow.
to ensure Hinton isn't further injured as he faced a judge for the first time and is returned to the jail.
Take your time. Take your time. Ready? Yep. You all right? One more. There you go.
He's being held here without bond, facing aggravated murder charges. Sean Delancey, WCPO 9 News.
Now, this is what Hinton saw when he was in that courtroom, when he came into the court chamber and he was facing that bond hearing initially. These are the officers that he was greeted by. You can see a nice show of force of the officers. Sitting, standing, filling the room. You know what I was thinking as I was watching this, and I understand, man. I get it, you know what I'm saying? The officer who was killed, who lost his life, I think his name was Deputy Larry Henderson. He had friends. And of course, he's a man in blue. He was a sheriff's deputy. So the cops are going to feel a certain kind of way about that. I wonder, though, part of me wonders, would all these cops have been present? Would all of them have been present if Rodney Hinton was a white guy? I don't know. I asked that question because, well, I could see. Just what I'm noticing. That's all. I'm just wondering. I mean, that's, just something to consider. I tend to believe it wouldn't have been. But, if it would have been, if Rodney Hinton would have hit a black cop, for instance. Hey, Rodney Hinton Jr., he sees his son gunned down. He's driving and he sees a black cop and he runs him over. Is that possible? I don't know, man. I just think about these things. I just wonder if we, I wonder if we would even be talking about it like this. Would it be a national story? Would somebody of the white guys that are on X be losing their damn minds right now? If Rodney would have hit a black cop, say one of the cops in Memphis that got off after beating Tyree to death. Yeah, I got a feeling if Black America saw Tyree's people lose it and run over one of those Memphis police officers, we wouldn't have had a problem with that. Now, I mean, some of us would have, because some of us, we're very close to our Bibles. And some of us take our Bible very, very literally, and we think about an eye for an eye. I don't know, just noticing the dynamics, man, because I got a lot of people saying a lot of things across social. And I don't think they ever check their own biases. They love to point out the biases of Black America, but they don't put out the biases of themselves. Would you give a damn if this was a black cop who got ran over? You may say it was bad, but you probably wouldn't be talking about it. Not to the extent that you are. See, I see a lot of people flipping it. We'd have been just as angry. Black Americans just as angry as the people that killed Tyree. We were livid. We're livid. I'm livid. I'm livid about it. Doesn't matter to me. I'm even more upset because they should have been protecting that brother. But that's a whole nother story. I'm just pointing out some things. So look, I'm not positive that the black officer got on that elevator with any intentions of protecting anyone. He is blue. And that's what's wrong with the police department, frankly, is that it's a gang. What part of gang are we not getting? But hey, man, if you want to feel warm and fuzzy, if you think one black officer is going to protect him from all those white officers with a grudge. And look, I'm not even going to say they're wrong to have a grudge. If somebody run me over, I hope somebody be mad about it. Especially somebody I never interacted with. Guess it's just my day, you know? If anybody watching, if somebody ran your family member over after having no interaction with him at all. What I'm trying to say, folks, what I'm trying to say is this is a horrible situation no matter how you slice it. And no matter how you slice it, it exposes some of the things about America, man, that we just got to come to grips with at some point. And if we can't come to grips as an entire country, because if we did come to grips with the racial issues in this country that have existed for hundreds of years in this country, then how would they sell them damn newspapers? The Democratic Party would be gone, the Republican Party would be gone, and it'd just be people. Because part of what fuels America is that racial animus, is the racial tension, is the racial elements. But I'm sure you guys already know that, right? You know how America rolls, how it gets down. So Rodney Hinton Jr.'s elevator ride is contentious. The tension's in the air. I'm not surprised at that. What would you expect? It exposes what we already know. We got a problem with race. We got a problem with justice. We got a problem with our system. We got a problem with qualified immunity and so many other things. Till we address those issues, we're going to be right here. Today, this week, this month, is Rodney Hinton Jr. And it's Ryan Hinton. Remember the real reason we even having this conversation about Rodney Hinton Jr. is because of Ryan Hinton. The young man who they say was pointing the gun at cops. And I watched the video 20 times. I ain't seen no gun, and I didn't see him pointing anything at all. Nothing. And if you want to say he shot him because he just wanted to, say that then. So I can stop having to look at that damn tape and not see what you saying I'ma see. And all you people out there who agree with it, who side with those cops, who I guess you need no proof. Why don't you feel that way when fake news is lying about your boy Trump? When they lie about your boy Trump, you live it. You're angry. You're talking about the destruction of our constitutional rights. But you don't mind when the media lies or when police lie, doctor footage, doctor evidence, plant guns, plant drugs, beat people up, kill people, falsify reports. I've covered it on this channel for years, over a decade. So save your fake outrage. Save it. We're going to get to it. All right, folks, let me know what you think in the comments section below. If it makes you sleep better at night. I tend to believe that Rodney Hinton Jr. snapped. I tend to believe that. I tend to believe he had no thought about preserving his own life, that he crashed out. That's what I believe. That's the term that y'all use nowadays. I'm Gen X. He went postal. It's crazy. That term, going postal, was something that was coined back in, I think, the 90s. And it was due to postal workers who lost their mind and killed. They tried to kill everybody at the post office over small things like parking spaces and lunch breaks. Those same people can't understand a man just watching a tape where somebody said your son pointed a gun at these cops. That's why they shot him in the back 4 times. And you look at the tape and don't see that at all. And then get in your car and run over somebody. They can't understand that. But they could understand the term postal worker, a postal worker who's pissed off at people that he was working with for 20 years, would shoot everybody in the post office. The racial bias in this country is sickening, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We got more to get to. Hit the like button if you like the content so far. Let the algorithm know we telling the truth. It may be inconvenient. It may hurt your feelings. It may even get you pissed off. But it's my point of view. I gave you the facts and I gave you my commentary. Let me know what y'all think about it. Next.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Trump has virtually halted refugee admission in America for people fleeing war and famine in places like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Back with Rick, Mark, and Eddie. Rick Stengel.
Yes, it's so deeply and morally wrongheaded and repulsive. These are the descendants of the people who created the most diabolical system of white supremacy in human history, apartheid. They're not directly responsible for it, but it...
Whoa! Fam.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
I don't say it's BS because the system of apartheid in South Africa wasn't horrible. And I'm not saying that because those aren't the descendants of those people that practice it. I'm saying it because he's got a selective memory about apartheid. They learned it from us. South Africa sat back and watched America run this Jim Crow system. That's an American system that was exported to South Africa. They said, wow, look at the way they treat the blacks in America. We need to do that. Now, how can you have a morally outraged segment where you're going to complain about America, about Trump not being right and letting in South African Afrikaneers, and then get this damn thing and totally miss the point that they get it from us? This white man, if you don't know that South Africa patterned its apartheid system after us, then he ain't white. Take credit for your work. Them your descendants that gave it to their descendants. Be so humble, sir.
It was a system that actually moved black people off of the arable land So they inherited the land that the black people had to give up. It was called forced removal. It was something called a Bantustan policy, where they moved black people out of the cities and farmland.
And they were doing the same thing in America. The black people, whenever we built up something, they did the same thing. It's called eminent domain. They did it through court orders, bombs, lynchings. They flooded towns. This all happened in America, folks. It was monkey see, monkey do.
Into these remote areas with non-arable land. I mean, it was just one of the most worst processes ever. But what has happened in this strange, bizarre world we're living in is that the Afrikaners have become the darling of these right-wing, white supremacist movements around the world. That it's like the lost cause for them. It's like the old Confederacy. They're held up as these white Christians who are being dispossessed of their land. It's more extreme than this.
You know, I think it's important for us to understand that the Trump administration is a lot of things, but one thing it certainly is a white nationalist project. And oftentimes we don't want to describe it as such. I'm not reducing it to it, because there's greed, there's graft, there's all sorts of things happening around it, but we need to understand the way in which great replacement theory is driving this. There's a sense in which the immigration policy is all about demographic shifts. There's a sense around the assault on voting rights and civil rights. It's all about who will have the decision-making power to determine who will run the country. And here, this idea that the republic must remain a white nation is evidenced in this move, which is so explicit that it cannot be denied. And so when we don't describe it for what it is, we become, in an ironic way, complicit in what they're doing. It's a white national.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
You know, as I listen to Eddie Glad talk about it, you know, and he says, you know, we in America, we have the system, right?
A white nation is evidenced in this move, which is so explicit.
I don't know, man. It's just whenever I hear him talking, it's so passionate. It's so full of it. Hey, folks, man, I don't mean anything, man, but whenever I hear a black man that's a Democrat talk about the system in such terms, I start thinking, like, what was you 4 years ago? Or, I'm sorry, where were you 4 months ago? You know, when it was under Biden and it was the same system. Same exact system. This ain't a new system, folks. You're doing the same thing we always did. White nationalism did not start under Trump. It will not end under Trump, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it won't. But this notion that it's new, they so appalled by something that's been in America as long as America been America. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's wrong to say it. I'm saying I just get a feeling it's theatrics, you know? Because ain't nothing new under the sun in this country when it comes to this, folks. There been white people in America for a long time. And it's been bigots in America for a long, long time. And I just feel like it's nothing but a political play when they frame it like it's in extreme levels now. Now we really gonna see it. What? Now we really see it? I think we've been seeing it all this time. Dr. Eddie Glide know what I'm talking about. He would have to agree. Ain't nothing new about this system being this way. And I just get tired of people landing at the feet of Trump. As if Trump invented something. Trump has invented nothing. He didn't even invent MAGA. That's been around since Reagan in the Clinton era. Make America great again. I mean, he took it to new levels and solidified it and created a political movement, and that's new, a cohesive movement that I think will outlive Trump. I mean, seriously, guys. I don't know who's the heir apparent of it. But this whole notion of make America great, that's not even a Trump invention. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. Donald Trump's policies, and we're going to get to those policies. I'm not letting them off the hook. We're going to talk about the policies of South Afrikaners. How you pronounce it? Afrikaners? them coming to America, which is crazy because we done shut down everybody else, but let's get into it. Let's have that conversation.
That it cannot be denied. And so when we don't describe it for what it is, we become, in an ironic way, complicit in what they're doing. It's a white national.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
So what's the difference between the refugees that they're talking about here and those refugees?
I could guess. I mean, I think everyone...
They're white.
They're white. Thank you. They are white. And I think, look, if that is how you feel, fine, then hold the line. But there are people all over the world, even people in this country right now, who are seeking, who have sought asylum, who are going through the process of asylum seeking, and have been detained by ICE and are being deported. There's also a genocide happening in the Congo right now that I don't see.
That you would not be talking about if Trump hadn't let these Afrikaners come here, because that's been going on for some time now. You understand what I'm saying, folks? Like, this is what I'm talking about, fam. This is what I'm talking about. They have not been talking about it, and they're still not talking about it. They're mentioning it only because they try to say, oh, Trump would have helped these people, not these people. I wonder why. And I don't know about you, but I find it rich when you got a white woman saying Trump's racist because he's letting in the whites. I don't know if you looked in the mirror, Casey, but your melanin ain't really take root. Yeah, you white too, and so is this guy sitting next to her. I mean, I'm just saying. With all this virtue signaling, you would think these people were not a part of that. Like, they are. You ain't got to choose it, baby. Look, you ain't choose the game chose you. I know what it is. But the way they talk, the way they wonder what's different, huh? What's different here? What's the difference between these and these? I don't know. I think it's hypocritical as hell, folks. Yeah, I can't give it another name.
Any Congolese being getting relief to come to this country. So there are Afghanis that helped us in Afghanistan that we have left behind. Even the last administration didn't do right by them. This administration can do right by them, but they are not.
She said even. Why do you say even? Are you suggesting that the Democrats are more, I don't know, more benevolent to those people that are hurting? Man, we got people hurting all over the globe, Johnson. Come on, man. We got people starving that America could be helping right now instead of sending that money to get washed in the U.S. aid agency, going to his friends and NGO partners and cousins or whoever did what and waiting on kickbacks. I'm still waiting for somebody to do a deep dive on that, meaning to me, the best part about Doge is deep diving on that foreign money that was going to who knows what to cause upheaval, who knows where, to pad people's pockets for who knows how long with who knows how much. That was been real interesting.
Because it doesn't fit the narrative of the type of immigrants that we want in our country.
And even saying, there is also a genocide happening in Congo. We got to be careful about acknowledging that there's a genocide in South Africa.
That's right. There is no genocide.
No, of course, we're agreeing there. I mean, certainly there are white people in South Africa who have been victims of crimes. That happens all over the world. That certainly does not entitle someone to the level of persecution to be entitled to asylum in the United States. When we, as a nation, are turning away people, forget the woke stuff. I mean, literally people who assisted the United States military in Afghanistan are not being admitted to this country now in favor of white South Africans under some genocide narrative that is just nonsense.
Remember, guys, we're talking about, let's get some facts here. These people don't give you no facts. 59 Afrikaners were provided asylum, granted refugee status by the Trump administration. 59. We're talking about 60 people, Johnson. This is all about 60 people that came here. Biden left in, people estimate between 10 and 20 million people. Trump let in 60 South Africans, white South Africans. And now we get a new segment, but at least you get to hear about the Congo for 30 seconds as they prove a point about Trump being racist. They were greeted at Washington Dulles International Airport in Virginia by U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau and Department of Homeland Secretary Troy Edgar. White South Africans granted refugee status by Trump administration. Let's get into that, man. Let's see. But just keep the number in your head. 59. 59. I'm sorry. These are people that's supposed to be escaping genocide. They didn't fit in with Americans. All of them obese, wearing biker shorts, track suits. You sure they facing genocide? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. You mean a Wendy's cheeseburger, double, triple patty. That's a Wendy's triple patty. That's a Texas Roadhouse steak eating. That's what that is. That's Outback. Come on, man. Bruh, that's not the gout. That's fast food. Come on, man. These people, they look like they're going to Disney World. They don't look emotionally scarred to me. The group left Johannesburg on Sunday night on a charter flight paid for by the U.S. government. Hey, Trump, this is obviously a quid pro quo for Elon Musk. It's gotta be. It's gotta be a quid pro quo for Elon Musk. Why is this Elon Musk's extended family? He's got like 20 kids. Is this their extended family? He's probably got more extended family than this. He just be dropping it like it's hot. Lighten up the club. Folks, are we being honest with ourselves here? I mean, you can lie, just don't lie to me. Lie to yourself. It's obviously that Trump is doing this for a favor for a friend. This ain't even trying to hide it. Could you at least try? These people are not suffering. This is not what genocide looks like. Look like a family reunion. A family reunion. I would sing, but y'all leave if I did, so. Nobody is like, whew, man, I'm glad we made it. Everybody just like, all right, man, when we gonna get to a TV so I can watch Netflix? Did we miss the Met Gala? Darn it. Where's Goofy and Mickey Mouse? Yeah, they look so distraught. Yeah, they're so distraught. Folks, you got me up here agreeing with Eddie Glide at this point. Why y'all gonna do me like that? You gotta call the balls and strikes. This is a strike, Johnson. Anybody buying this? She don't even cough like nobody that's going through nothing. Oh, come on, man. Pop's got man boobs. Ain't nobody struggling. Come on, man. Oh, come on, Johnson. Come on.
Who claim discrimination in their home country are heading to the United States, right, where your administration is going to welcome them as refugees. Now, this comes as you've halted virtually all refugee admissions for people fleeing famine and war from countries like Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you creating an expedited path into the country for Afrikaners but not others?
Because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have I guess a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
And I don't care who they are. I don't care.
Hold on a second here, Trumpy. Donald Trump is full of it. Yeah, man, you're full of it. It's bursting at the seams, the hypocrisy, sir. Trump, you're supposed to be a straight shooter. Just say you're doing this to hook up Elon. Then you want to insult my intelligence. Yeah, come on, man. It's so obvious. Look, folks, America doesn't care who's dying around the globe. We never did. We never do. This is the country that sent the Jews back when they came looking for refuge from the Nazis. We were forced into that war. We came in at the bottom of the 8th inning. Like, y'all need some help? Feeling bad because we ain't helped earlier. Listen, man. The claims that there's a genocide going on in South Africa have been bloated out of proportion tremendously. Like, you can get no facts. When I looked up this issue, I'm finding like a small number of farmers, a handful of farmers being killed every year. But there's so much crime in South Africa. We got 20,000 South Africans dying in South Africa every year from violence. And then we got like maybe 200 farmers. They're going, oh my God. 200 white farmers? Well, we just lost 19,000 black South Africans. That's how little they care about black South Africans. That's a travesty. Like, oh no. Listen, these incidents do not meet the legal standard or scholarly definition of genocide, which requires intent to destroy a group in whole or part. Now, man, if Africa was trying to destroy white South Africans, there'd be a lot less white South Africans. You know what I'm saying? South Africa's high crime rate affects all communities. And while farm attacks are brutal, they're not systemically targeted at whites as a group. The official statistics from the South African Police Service from 2014 to 2024 show 50 to 70 farm murders annually. I'm sorry, I over-exaggerated. 50 to 70 people, man. Folks, if only 50 to 70 white people died in America, I mean, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? A small fraction of the country's 20,000 yearly homicides. See, I got that right. I knew that one. Okay, so I wanted to look at a little bit because Trump, he stepped into it. He walked out here and he said, we care about people. He actually said we care about people. People are dying. Oh, my God. Meanwhile, Palestinians are being killed like hotcakes. So, of course, we got Sudanese. We got the Sudan Civil War. It's been going on since 2023. The Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, has displaced over 8 million people, with estimates of 14,000 to 150,000 deaths. They just throw them in a big hole and just cover up the hole. We don't even know how many people are dying over there. A potential massacre of 15,000 in El Fasher, Darfur. Atrocities include mass starvation, blockade, and ethnic violence, particularly in Darfur. The media coverage has been spotty as hell, and that's being lenient. The New York Times gave it minimal attention compared to Israel, Palestine, or Ukraine. Al Jazeera in foreign policy noted the lack of rallies, celebrity advocacy, or cause for any intervention. That's right. You guys are getting on DJ Khaled, but DJ Khaled has been as vocal as Kanye West on this issue. Well, DJ Khaled has been Kanye West compared to how people have been about Darfur. Complex conflict dynamics, no direct U.S. involvement in competition with newsworthy events like the Olympics or the Middle East war take precedent. That's right. America doesn't care because we really ain't in it. And we ain't in it. We ain't got much of our issues. Like, it doesn't really impact us. That's just one. Ethiopia. Ethiopia's Tigray. I can't even say it. That's how little it's been covered. Ethiopia's Tigray conflict from 2020 to 2022, folks. We're talking between 300,000 and 600,000 people killed, mostly civilians. Starvation, violence, disease. The media coverage there, once again, hardly at all. Hardly or none at all. Then we got the Democratic Republic of Congo that they talked about here briefly. Ongoing violence in eastern DRC involving M23 rebels and other groups have displaced 5.8 million people. It killed thousands. Annually. 2015 to 2023, a conflict involving 9 nations caused millions of deaths from violence. And Trump wouldn't mention it. I'm not saying Biden was mentioning it either, but this claim that we care now. I'm on Trump's back because he just said we care because there's people dying. And all I'm doing is listing all the people that are dying around the globe in these different conflicts and these direct erasing of people. And some of you don't even want to sit through to me telling you. And we got Trump saying we care about these people. These people over here. It's ludicrous, man. It's horrific that he would say that. And I'm just going to list the other tops. I'm just going to go top line. Burkina Faso's jihadist insurgency from 2016 that's going on right now. South Sudan, ethnic violence, ethnic cleansing. 2016 to 2020, we got the Cameroon's Anglophone crisis. 2016 to current day. Like, folks, massive amounts of people are being wiped off the earth as we speak in countries around the globe. And we do not lift a finger. And look, we would not be lifting the finger now if it wasn't for Elon Musk. I firmly believe, I got no evidence to it. This is my commentary. Trump like, look, let me hook you up, Elon. Let me go help some of your people. And that's it. That's all. Quid pro quo. And, and considering that Trump is who Trump is, I wish he'd just say that. Mozambique cabal. Kenya. Extrajudicial abductions. You know how they talk about Americans disappearing off the streets, which is BS. Let you talking about regular gang activity. But now they talking about, us deporting people, ICE disappearing people off the streets. No, go to Kenya. Extrajudicial abductions, over 80 critics, including cartoonists, have been abducted, likely by security forces, amid anti-tax protests. 5 missing youths were freed in 2025 after public outcry. U.S. media ignored this despite Kenya's status as a U.S. ally. U.S. strategic partnership with Kenya discourages critical reporting. Protests lack a viral hook like Kenya 2012. You remember that white guy that was lying like he was helping people? He was just putting money in his pocket. 2012. I think it was Tony or something. Wasn't that tied to this? Yeah, it was in Kenya, wasn't it? All right, guys. So look, Trump's assertion that black South Africans suffering will receive more coverage is speculative and oversimplifies media dynamics. Yeah, it does. And it exaggerates our attention to black people like we give a damn. I just named you off several countries where worse things are going on and black people not. It's like, we don't talk about it. They're not black Americans. it ain't impacting us directly, then America don't even cover it. We got other things to cover, like, the Diddy trial, Met Gala event, and The Last of Us getting renewed for another season. Right?
About their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible. I have
next.
Yeah, whenever someone says, I don't care about their race, I don't care about their color, that means one thing to me. They're lying. You care about politics, Trump, you are now president. These people that walk around pretending that Trump is not a politician. He wasn't a politician. He may be a different kind of politician, but Trump is most definitely, positively is, regardless of what you lying black conservatives say, he is now officially a politician. He got the biggest political job in the country, if not the world. It's called President of the United States of America. And he is playing politics. And he's doing favors for friends, too. Next.
On Deck with Tim Black.
This was not an attack on him, but we felt it was very disrespectful.
Yeah, I wanted to go back and take a look at the Carmelo Anthony situation, man, because, the case is doing what it's doing. We got several issues here. We got this guy, Dominique Alexander, I think his name is. And I don't know, man. I just wonder why Dominique Alexander is talking. Whenever I see his mouth moving and I see a video on my timeline, the sound is off. I'm like, uh-oh. Is he saying he quit? That he's decided that his presence is nothing more of a distraction and lessens the ability for this young man to receive a good trial, fair trial, and to be covered correctly in the news media? And then I realized I ain't gonna get that lucky. But that's what I hope it's gonna be when I hit the volume. Instead, I get this.
On how he came about it and how we, even before you even knew it was a thing, we were asking him repeatedly to leave. And literally, he wouldn't even talk. He wouldn't even say anything. He felt like he could just stand there. That's not right. It was very upsetting to me. It's not right. Because if you're coming here for...
Man, he's talking about Metcalf being at the press conference. I just want to update people to the Carmelo Anthony case. And I want you to know, the family didn't even know the guy was there. Like, he was not where they were. He was like outside. He was not in the room where the parents were. To my understanding, the actual parents, Carmelo Anthony's mom and dad, didn't know. And Carmelo is at home or in a different location for his own safety. So, like, he knew, but everybody didn't know. So now he's doing a press conference talking about his own personal feelings, which is weird to me. Because you ain't on trial for your life. Your trials happened a decade ago. So why are you talking, man? Like, this is what I'm saying. This ambulance chasing shit is out of hand, Johnson. If you're here to help support this family, you shouldn't be talking unless you're talking in support of this family. You should not be talking about how you felt about Metcalf being at your press conference. And if it's something that's a distraction, and I think that's why Metcalf showed up, to create a distraction, you talking about it only increases the distraction. That's how distractions work. If a distraction occurs and you ignore it and look the other way, it's less of a distraction. But if you do a damn live stream about it, you just amplify the distraction. That makes sense?
Or I heard somebody say he was coming there for prayer. He was coming there to come and hug. Well, that wasn't the spirit that we got. There were more than 12, 15 people. Even the media came and approached him. Even DPD plainclothes officers approached him before the uniformed officers even arrived. So at the end of the day, we felt like he was coming in peace. Well,
look, man, this is not a winner for the family. Hey, folks, this is not a winner for the family. This is why I say we need to get Dominique Alexander up off the way and Carmelo Anthony and his family, the family of the, please watch these videos. Everybody's not selling out. Everybody's not trying to attract a right-wing audience. Meanwhile, throwing your son to the wolves. I'm definitely not doing that. The reason why I don't want Dominique Alexander speaking for you is because he's ineffective. And this is an example. It's a non-starter to make a video complaining about Jeff Metcalf. You know why? Because to a large amount of Americans, he's seen as a victim. No matter what you say about him, his son is no longer walking the earth. So regardless of what you feel about the case, regardless of what you think about Carmelo Anthony, regardless of what you think about the media coverage or whatever, you are trying to vilify a person who's seen as a victim. That's a non-starter. You want to avoid this at all costs. You should be acting gracious towards this guy, even if it's burning you up on the inside. Why? Because he lost his son. Now, folks, I'm holding a place to understand Rodney Hinton Jr., and I can do so because I lost a child. I can relate to that. And I understand in that moment, he may have had some thoughts running through his head. You don't think I had thoughts running through my head when I lost a child? I had thoughts. But there's also, you got to look at the other side and say, well, you know what? The sheriff's deputy whose life was taken, he has family that has thoughts as well. And if everybody started reacting on their thoughts, ain't gonna be nobody left. And Metcalf has thoughts as well. So you can't say you understand Hinton, but you don't understand Metcalf. Okay? So we being hypocrites now, and I don't like it. We're being hypocritical because we're saying, oh, we understand Rodney Hinton Jr. and his grief and his anger, whatever that was, anger, grief, snapping, a momentary lapse, whatever it was. But you don't understand Metcalf? You're not affording him his humanity? Get what I'm saying? I think you do. I think you understand what I'm saying. So we got to give him his humanity. And I know it's tough because you don't want to side with the likes of, some of the people that are over there, like, Officer Scradam. But you're not on his side. You're not agreeing with him. It's just you see it the way you see it and stand on that truth. This is why I think this guy's a liability, because he didn't have the common sense to say, you know what, maybe it's not a good idea to go after a father of a deceased son, whom my client ended. Maybe that's not a good idea. To me, it's basic.
That's a hell of a way of coming in peace. By when someone's approaching you and asking you to step back because you're in a secure lane, they don't even know who you is. You could have been a person of CBS 11 or anything. If he would have just stepped back.
Man, what did he do? He just showed up and he left. No one had to escort. No one had to drag him out. He didn't throw eggs. What are you talking about? Why you got to have a press conference about this? So you know what? Reporters should have interviewed him at some point, asked him a question, and it'd be a byline in the bottom of a news article. That's it. His face does not need to be in this video. He don't need to have that big ugly ass logo in the corner over there doing no live streams trying to get play off of this. He Al Sharpton without the Al Sharpton. You understand what I'm saying? He doing an Al Sharpton and it's ineffective. It's even worse than Al Sharpton. Yeah, it's worse than Al Sharpton. Because he has none of the gravitas, none of the credibility that Al Sharpton has. Wrong or right, there are people that feel the way they feel about Al Sharpton. I disagree with him vehemently, but I'm saying, come on, man.
With when the security asked him to, Hell, the media probably wouldn't even notice that he was there. It was because of the confrontation of the security person telling him to move back that the media even noticed him, because he had shades and a sling that they have never saw him in. I don't know this man. I've never saw him a day in my life. So I didn't point him out and say, oh, he got to go. I didn't even know who he was. And so this rush to judgment, these attacks on our organization, the attacks on me or whatever it may be, man.
The attacks on you are valid. By the way, sir.
Keep them going, right? I'm built for that, okay?
Oh, God. All right, man. Here he is again. Look, do not tell me this guy's not being self-serving here. How is him talking? How is that helping the case? How is that helping Carmelo Anthony? Which is my only concern here, not him.
What he felt at that moment, and I'll leave it at that.
Do you believe Carmelo Anthony is innocent even after he admitted this to police?
I believe Carmelo has the right to be able to create the same legal defense that anybody is afforded under these state of Texas laws and Constitution. I believe if Carmelo wants to display his self-defense claim, he should be entitled in the court of law without interference. That's what I believe.
Does Carmelo Anthony's family believe he is innocent?
I believe correction. I believe that the Anthony family wants to respect this process and get him prepared for his self-defense claim. I believe the Anthony family feels that, yes, Carmelo.
Man, why is this guy talking? Yeah, man, I disagree with it so much as I'm hearing out of the conservative blogosphere on this thing, man. But what I do not disagree with them on, and I will give them, I will admit, is this guy need to go. I've been saying that since I found out about him. In the way he handled the press conference to begin with. A press conference that I thought was dogged. It's a horrible press conference. It was only salvaged by our mother's grief. If it wasn't for that mother coming up there and articulating herself the way she did, this guy with a chip on his shoulder that should be non-existent, man. Come on. When you're on the job. He is on the job, folks.
Anthony is innocent of this, and they are going to support Carmelo Anthony in this entire process in getting prepared.
Would you agree that the Metcalf family is the victim here?
Any loss of life is a tragedy. Any child that loses his life is a tragedy, no matter the circumstance. That's my answer.
Next on deck.
And my answer is the tragedy is only being further by having you affiliated with it. And I think to lessen the damage that's been caused, you need to be gracious, recognize that you are out of your debt, stop looking at a come up for your organization, and step back. He needs a step back, folks. That's how it is. That's what I see. Let me know what you think in the comments section. This is horrible, guys. It's horrible. All right, now let's keep the party going, man. Look, this is why I remind you that the Tim Black Show is brought to you by you. Yeah, it's by you. Yeah, it's brought to you by you, viewers like you, man. This is not funded by the DNC or the RNC or the CP3 or the R2D2. It's funded by people like you that watch the show, people that share it. So if you can't join our organization, if you can't join, well, it's not an organization. If you can't join the Tim Black community, at least share it with your community, because I think we come from a vantage point that's different. All right? And I think it's important. I think you'll find that out as you get to know us better. Go to timblacktv.com, become a member. Also, sign up and get on my newsletter. My newsletter, we pushed it back. I was sending it out every week. I think every couple of weeks. Because I think, I just don't want to be in your email box that often. You know? But yeah, let's keep it going, guys. Got a little bit more to get to. How we looking for time, Black Mamba? How we doing over there? Hope we're doing okay, folks. All right. Where are we at here?
With Tim Black.
The first witness is now on the stand in the federal sex trafficking trial for Sean Diddy Combs in New York City after final jury selection and opening statements this morning. The prosecution portrayed the music mogul as the leader of a criminal conspiracy sex trafficking ring, while the defense rejected that, saying trying to turn Combs' consensual sexual relationships into sex trafficking, quote, will not work. Combs pled not guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Joining me now, Christy Greenberg, former SDNY Criminal Division Deputy Chief, former federal prosecutor, and MSNBC legal analyst. So, Christy, you were inside the courtroom. Tell us what it was like in there.
Well, it was packed. There were 2 rows full of Sean Combs' family and friends, as well as other members of the media and other members of the public that were very interested to learn what was happening. You had 2 opening statements that portrayed a very different image of who Sean Combs is. You had the prosecutors saying that this man ran a criminal enterprise for over 20 years, that he engaged in using force and coercion in order to make 2 separate victims engage in these commercial sex acts, these freak-offs that they did not want to participate in. And then you had the other side, which is the defense, having Sean Combs stand up and show a different side of him and say, look, he's indefensible in terms of committing domestic violence, but that doesn't mean he's a sex trafficker. That doesn't mean he engaged in racketeering. And trying to make this distinction and really focusing on the victims and trying to turn the jurors' focus to the victims and say, look, they were strong, capable women, and they made a choice. Now, I think that will ultimately be a difficult thing for the defense to show because of all the evidence the prosecutors in the opening statement said that they had, showing that actually these women really weren't making a choice. You have the video of Cassie where, Sean Combs is beating her, striking her, dragging her out of that hallway video when she was trying to leave one of these freak-off sessions. That doesn't exactly look like a choice. We also heard from the prosecutors that there are text messages where one of the victims, known as Jane, is saying, I don't want to engage in these freak-offs. I don't want to do this. And then there are apparently also recorded calls that we are going to hear between Sean Combs and Jane, in which Sean Combs is offering her money and telling her to say that she wanted to engage in these freak-offs. None of those pieces of corroborating evidence sounds like these women had a choice. So I think that is going to be really critical evidence for the prosecution. And just one last point. Even if there is the sex trafficking charges, but there are 2 charges, one for each victim, of transporting these women across state lines for the purposes of prostitution. Those charges do not require force, fraud, or coercion. So consenting adults traveling across state lines for the purpose of prostitution, if he did that, he is guilty. So these arguments about the women had a choice, they're not really a defense to these transportation for prostitution charges. I think those charges in particular will be very difficult for the defense to overcome.
Let me ask you about the jury. As I understand, 8 men, 4 women, all from Manhattan, the Bronx, Westchester County, north of Manhattan. Includes everyone from an investment analyst, a physician's assistant, scientist, UN worker. I think several of them said that they've seen the video of Combs assaulting Cassie Ventura in an LA hotel hallway. I wonder what your thoughts are on this jury and its makeup.
Well, as you said, more men than women. That's generally not what you'd want to see when you're prosecuting sex trafficking cases. You'd like to see more women on that jury. It is a very diverse jury, and both in their backgrounds, in their jobs, in their educational backgrounds. So bringing a lot of different experiences. But yes, they've all seen a very critical piece of evidence for the most part. And the defense acknowledged that in the opening, that yes, many of you have seen this video. And please keep an open mind and please try to separate what you've seen before coming into this courtroom from what you're going to see in the courtroom.
That is remarkable composure, can I just say, with all of those emergency vehicles going behind you.
Yeah, man, I gotta say, man, like, look, even Diddy's allowed his day in court. We all know that. He's innocent until proven guilty. But I gotta say, folks, it doesn't look good. Yeah, it just doesn't. This has looked bad from the day one. I mean, ever since the footage came out of him and Cassie, it doesn't look good. Yeah. I was wondering how I was going to even get to this. How would I even provide commentary for this when I just feel like it's such an obvious uphill battle for him at this point? I mean, there's been rumors of this, ongoing rumors about Puffy for the last 20 years. And the only thing that kept him out of jail was the fact that he was Puffy. You know, and I think at some point, someone decided, hey, you know what? He's more trouble than he's worth. I don't know where that came from, but that's what I get. I get that sense. Because the things that Puffy was doing it's not new. It's definitely not new to Hollywood. Okay? So I just want everybody to remember that. Like, he learned this from somebody who was already doing it. He didn't invent anything. And I'm not saying it doesn't mean he doesn't get to be held, responsible for his actions. But what I'm saying is he is but one cog in a wheel of debauchery and whatever this is, trafficking, and the powerful taking advantage of the unpowerful or the disempowered. And I just think that's how it operates. And I also just want to say, like I stated, I believe that at some point they pissed somebody off, man. Because why now? What happened now? It's like all of a sudden a flare goes up and they decided what's time for this person to go down. And that's where people's minds start to running, as far as the conspiracy idea. Like we start wondering, trying to figure out what made it so urgent. Why was it now? Why not 10 years ago? Why not during the death of Biggie? The death of Tupac? Why not in all the other issues that have taken place? When Sean went to jail, why not with, all the other artists that have worked for him? They were under Bad Boy that are gone. They all had stories to tell. So, like, there's nothing new under the sun here when it comes to Sean Combs. And, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Part of me surprised he's here. Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm a little surprised. Like, I'm not gonna say surprised. Let's say this. I was on the fence that he'd be in court. And I should say that he would make it to court. Am I the only person that felt that way? I mean, I just felt that it was a 50-50 chance. It was a toss-up that the guy would even be able to be in court. So I'm surprised that happened. Just the nature of the allegations, the nature of what's going on, and what's possible. If you see when you start talking about filming, we know how popular Puffy was, the type of parties he threw at the crib, the type of connected folks that were there, anymore from politicians to Hollywood directors, recording artists, powerful people came through. And those powerful people have a lot to lose. And if Puffy goes away, it's possible a lot of their problems go away. So just that alone made me wonder, are we even going to come to this point? So that's one of the reasons why I decided to cover it. Because I think some of you will be shocked that it's happened, that he's actually in court and he's alive to be there. All right, let me know what you think in the comment section about this one, folks. Ay, caramba. All right. We still got more going on, folks. It's a Tim Black Show. We're going to run a commercial and come right back, folks. Remember, what can I say? Yeah, I guess that's enough. Hit the like button for us. We need the likes to keep us alive in the algorithm, because the algorithm, it don't play, Johnson. Where's my commercial here for the Tim Black gear? Yeah, I gotta check it out. You know the deal. Independent black media stays unapologetic, raw, and real. Now you can wear the movement. From the Tim Black Wolf Pack to the Cornbread Collection, we got gear for the real ones. For men, women, even the little ones. No weak threads, no weak messages. Rep the truth. Rep the movement. Hit up timblackpauls.com and grab yours today. Because cornbread ain't free. Wolfpack. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. The Tim Black Show, we're going into round 2 of the Tim Black Wolfpack Show, man. I want to thank my people for coming through. Yeah, I got a couple more segments I want to get through. One of them is going to be very spicy, folks, so stay to the end, because I got some spiciness for you. I got to address somebody that you're going to know, I think. It's just such a horrible take. I feel compelled to address it. Let's go to part 2 of the Tim Black Show. Where are we at?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
The woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to.
Okay, guys, here we go, guys. I didn't realize I put this front loaded this particular story. This is a story I want to tell you about that's kind of got me going here. So there's this phrase that I've been hearing about. I've been hearing this phrase called black fatigue. And I first heard it, I said, black fatigue, what is that? Black fatigue. So these is some type of outfit people are wearing? What's going on, you know? I don't know. Army fatigues, black fatigue. No. Then I said, was it black tired? Whatever. So black fatigue highlights the urgent need for systemic change to dismantle racism in institutions, policies, and cultural norms. I'm like, wow, that's a thing and it's trending? Something that's about black people being concerned about racism? Like, that's regular. That's nothing new about that. That's almost all the time. We cut on MSNBC, they're talking about black, something to do with black systemic racism, white supremacy, something along those lines. And then I dug a little bit further and I found something else that was brewing. It's brewing with my people over there, the conservative people. Like, and I'm not gonna put it on everybody. You know, Anthony Brian Logan, ABL. I don't know if he's talking about this. Maybe I'll tap in with him and find out what's up if he's covering this. But yeah, this right here, this Anton Daniels guy, I saw this on TikTok. And yeah, check this out. Y'all told me about this guy, now I know why.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
The woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this. Because black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But
yeah, when I heard her say this, I said, wow, that's interesting. Then I saw him smile. And I thought, that's really interesting. She said society. Society is fed up. Would you mean the whites? That's when you know this is your country. It's like, when the society is fed up. Let's keep going, Johnson. It's going to get good.
what she did is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs. Every single day.
You do? We get called racial slurs? Who called you racial slurs? A racial slur? I didn't even know white people had a racial slur. I'm sure Anthony will find it. Anton, that's his name. I'm sure Anton will uncover it. He would have done countless videos about how you guys are victims if there really was a racial slur. You don't mean cracker, do you? Oh, come on, Johnson. Even that was a term to define the power of white people on the plantation. I mean, is that what you're talking about? You really consider that to be on par with something? I mean, even look at her. She's not even frowned up. What she's saying is she's a victim. This white lady is saying that white people are a victim on TikTok. Hey, man, if 70% of black people own houses like white people do, if 70% of black people own houses like white people do, I don't think I'd be frowned up about anything. If black people own 10 times the wealth of white people, you can call us whatever you want. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, how could you be upset about some things that are said about a group, not you specifically, on an app that you're choosing to go on? And when she's saying it, folks, look at her face. She's smiling when she says it. See, I got to question how sincere your frustration is. Your so-called discrimination, your plight that you're subjected to. I gotta wonder how severe it is. If even when you're telling it, it seems like you're sharing a story about an episode of Hacks or something. I mean, it just seemed like you don't really give a shit. But we'll keep going because Anton, he put this out.
So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Is that Botox out the test? Hold on a second. I'm still trying to figure out what the racial slur is for white people. Not like white boy. That's not going to do it, right? White boy Rick is what the black people call Rick because he was the white boy. It's Rick. And we call black people black Tim and black Rob and black, like it's not a slur. That's what you mean? I'm trying to figure out. Honestly, guys, I'm trying to understand what she's talking about. And I want to know why Anton's got a smirk on his face. And why is he boosting this? Why am I boosting it? I'm boosting it to rebuttal him. Because he's going to talk later. But what I'm saying, I don't want to wait till the end because there's so much misinformation in this video. It's pathetic, man. I don't understand what racial slur that white people are being subjected to that has her so distraught.
But for the love of God, please leave the children out of it. Adults are stupid. They're going to do stupid things. But you're a different level of stupid when you bring kids into it. Thanks for coming to my TED.
So basically what this woman is saying is that two things could be true at the same time. And I said this the other day when this whole situation first broke out. And then we had the panel on Monday night where I basically said that white people are starting to get fed up. And that is the whole premise behind Black fatigue.
Let me get this right. So you're here to tell us about the whites. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. So let me get this right. You are telling black people that white people getting tired of black people. Are they tired of you? I'm just asking, Anton, because you black, I think. So your job, you've decided that your job is to come tell black people that white people are tired of them or they tired of us. I just want to be clear here, because this is one of my pet peeves, man. Whenever I got these conservative black folks, and I'm not, people say, Tim, you're kind of conservative. Man, I'm nothing. I'm just Tim Black. I call it like I see it. I don't choose a side. You got the wrong guy. I got some policies I rock with. That's it. I don't choose any denomination of political affiliation. But this guy's a Trumper. He said so. He's gone to the mat. He's been on the Laura Ingraham angle. I think that's what he's trying to do is get back on there. But let me get this right. See, I have a problem with black people who identify black people as they, them. But then when things, then when they, whenever they want to, try to get a fan base, they want to be black again. And I don't get it. I don't get that they, them, they. I thought you was against the pronouns, bruh. Until you start talking about black people that got less money than you, then it's they, them, which I don't rock with. Let's keep going.
Is that nobody wants you to continue to play victim for the rest of your life. They tired of being held accountable for things that their ancestors.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. They're tired of being held accountable. How are white people being held accountable? Dude, there ain't no restitution. What are you talking about? Yeah, what are you talking about? They're tired of being held accountable. Oh, you mean somebody talking shit on an app that anybody could do? You mean like if I shot a video right now and I said, bad white people, they mean like that? Dude, you're so goofy. Come on, man. Look, man. I don't mean no harm, Anton Daniels and friends of Anton Daniels, and I really do not relish this, but just because you got on glasses don't make you smart. And just because you do a little word salad and say a lot of words and really not saying anything, sir, people on TikTok complaining about America's system of systemic racism that has occurred in this country is not holding white people accountable. The only way to hold white people accountable, first of all, would not be able to hold white people accountable, you hold the U.S. government accountable. Like, that's where we need to be at. And there has been no accountability by the U.S. government to rectify a couple 100 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow and Jane Crow and mass incarceration and redlining and all the other things that were allowed legally under this U.S. government. That's who needs to be held accountable. But, sir, people complaining on an app about America, that ain't holding nobody accountable. Why would you even say something goofy like that? It's impossible. These people have no power. How can powerless people hold powerful people, more people that are more powerful, that outnumber them 4-1? For every black person, there's like 4 or 5 white people. They outnumber us with wealth, land, ownership, power, position, the presidency, the government, like everything. The service, the armed services, the police system, every system in America is run by white people. And you said they're tired of being held accountable. I mean, I don't mean no harm, man. And I know I got people that watch me from all types of walks of life. Well, I thought y'all told me this guy knew what he was talking about. This guy's just cool. I'm sorry. Anton Daniels, the sound to me, I'm getting the impression that you are either trolling, because you had Charleston White on your show and you said, well, that's where the money is. Because you can't be this dumb. You got to know. Charleston White, you got kids? I got kids. If my kids went in their room and yelled and slammed the doors, they're not holding me accountable. They're being, they're rebellion, right? They're being rebellious. They're being whatever. They're being whatever they're being. But that's not the same thing as holding me accountable. Accountable is something that someone with power is able to do. Accountability is what court systems do. Accountability is what the United Nations would have to do to the United States. That's what accountability is. And people saying things that you don't want to hear that you could just go delete or block is not equivalent to holding anybody accountable. And it's disgusting and insulting, man, that you would even float that, man. That's nonsense, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, we can do better than this. Let him keep going, Tim. He's digging a hole. When a man is digging his own hole, let him continue.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Oh, damn, that's it. I'm sorry. Yeah, Anton, anytime you like to have a conversation about where you went wrong, I'd be very happy to enlighten you. In a country where Black Americans own so little, but have done so much for this country. For you to say, for you to articulate an argument for why we need to leave the white people alone. I'm one of those people that believe that, yeah, it's not about individual white people. It's about the U.S. government. It's unfortunate that MSNBC, CNN, and MSNBC, I'm sorry I said that. It's unfortunate so much of our cable news, liberal media focuses on white Americans when they need to be focused on the government, right? They need to be focused on the power structures. Because that's where the real power lies. Average white person doesn't individually have that type of power unless they call the cops. They do have that power. They do have the access to the systems to weaponize them against us. Maybe one day you will be the victim of such and will change your tune, Anton Daniels. Because the way you talking is if random disempowered people on an app, if they had power, they wouldn't be on an app talking. They would be executing that power to extract justice and to somehow level the playing field. I thought this guy was up on something because he talks about economics. A person coming from an economic background with no powers in money, and unless you got money to enable unless you're able to control the purse strings or be able to take money from someone or stop them from getting money, what power do you actually have? We don't run the judicial system. We don't run the wealth in this country. How could you say that we holding them account? They're tired of being held accountable. All this about Shiloh Hendricks, which is apparent to me was a grift at this point, in order to extract money from who? Poor white people. And I'm pretty sure a couple of goofy black conservatives who want to get an attaboy for supporting her as well. Congratulations. All right, folks, let me know what you think in the comments section below, man. This is appalling that the brother would come out here and say this. You people, like, I appreciate the people that brought it to my attention, but I got to say, man, yo, you need to listen to what he said, Tim Black. Nah, I don't, because he ain't saying anything. Not anything of merit anyway. All right, next, guys. Last but not least, I think I got one more point.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
They're tired of you blaming all of your failures and the things that you weren't able to accomplish on white people. They're tired of you sitting there saying that you're a victim.
Oh, he did go further. Listen to him. He said we up here blaming our failures on white people. That's what we do. We blaming our failures. I'm sorry. I didn't know he went further, guys. I'm sorry. Let me stitch this in the video. Let's keep going on him. He said he's tired of us blaming our failures on white people.
Every single day, regardless of what your circumstance is, regardless of what you've been given, regardless of
what you've been given. Listen to him. He said, this guy just said stuff. What's he talking about? Was you given something? What is he? What have black people been given as a whole? What's he talking about? Oh, I get it. You mean since we were given the right to vote without a poll tax like in the 70s. So like 50 years ago, we finally got this poll tax to leave. We still had the mass incarceration. We still had that. We still had the redlining because I worked on fighting redlining in the 90s. So yeah, I actually am attuned to that. So what are you talking about giving? I don't understand what giving is. We talking about food stamps? What are you talking about, Anton? No matter what our circumstances are, no matter what was given to us, what are you talking about? You like a GI Bill or something? That's what you're talking about, the New Deal? Wait, what's he talking about, y'all? When he says black people was given stuff. You mean tuberculosis? That what you mean? The tuberculosis. Oh, not that. You wouldn't mean that. What's he talking about, man?
all of the affirmative action, regardless of.
He said affirmative action. This goofy don't even know that affirmative action disproportionately help white women like the woman that's out here complaining. I mean, if Anton doesn't know that, folks, he should never, ever be able to talk to black people ever again. He is in his 40s. He's in his 40s talking about affirmative action. This same guy was complaining that DEI doesn't help black people, wasn't he? Well, if he doesn't know that affirmative action didn't help black people, then why is he talking? And look, man, I don't mean no harm, man, but when you got people that actually know stuff and you have your opportunity to listen to people and you open your ears up and you give people an opportunity to enlarge their platform, at least make sure they know a little bit about what they're talking about. He said affirmative action.
The fact that you're saying that you're the most educated, but really you're the most enrolled. They tired of you blaming your debt on the system.
You said tired of them blaming our debt on the system. Man, Americans, and not just black Americans who are in debt because of college, blaming our debt on the system. We're in a capitalistic system, that's true. How much money we spend for education in most other countries in the developed Western world did not have to spend? In order to do what? In order to get jobs that are grossly inadequate, for the majority of people, they're just not finding the jobs that keep pace with inflation. And some of that has to do with who's in office, but by and large, both parties suck, Johnson. They have very similar policies when it comes to many things. Even Joe Biden, with all his touting about he was helping with student debt, he only removed some student debt for a very small number of Americans. We're talking like 10% of Americans were affected by the Joe Biden student debt relief structure program, whatever that was. This guy stood up and said, this bootstrapism, this blame the individual for not doing what you did. This is just all smoke for poor people. Just another bloviating person, another person pounding his chest because he feel like he got more than the next black person. So now he want to get up here and tell black people, you ain't got anything and you're not as good as me. It's so tired, man. Like if you're not helping, I misunderstood. I never listened to much of his content. Not really. But I guess I was misinformed. My original take was his job was to help people get to the money. Right? I didn't know his job was to dump on black people that don't have money and then tell them it's their fault that America's built the way it's built. There are a lot of poor-ass white people in America. There are a lot of white people that don't have money. Would you make the same claim about them not getting to the money? I'm just wondering. Does Anton Daniels also criticize white folks who don't have paper? Which would be the majority of the Tea Party. He does realize that a large amount of Trump supporters are working class and under working class who don't have money, right? Is he also criticizing them? I'm just wondering. Or is he only reserves his criticism for black people who don't have money? And this says we're complaining, as if that's not what this white woman was doing. She was complaining. All right, guys. Hope you don't go much further.
Tired of you saying that white men are the problem. They tired of you asking for.
Tired of him, tired of you. Listen to him. He say, tired of you saying, yeah, man, that's enough. That's all I need to hear. Hey, Anton Daniels, do us a favor. Look, and I will hope. Black America, understand when you got somebody that's not working with you, not working on your accord, that is using you as a stepping stone in order to reach to the white side of the internet. That's exactly what he's doing, man. It's so obvious. Anytime I hear anybody, I heard him and this guy, Mead or Heed or something, this other dude and the LGBT, the gay black dude that MAGA threw out and told him to get out. They told him to his face, we don't want to. Yeah, this guy, I forget his name. It's a couple of them like this. Listen, when they other black people, when they speak about black people in the third person, they disassociate themselves from Black America, and consider themselves not a part of that. You don't hear white people doing that. And I always have a problem with it. And when I hear a black person do that, they are no longer considered credible to speak on behalf of black people. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about many other black folks that, that talk about various topics. But when you otherize black people and you say, you, they tired of you, yeah, that's problematic in a lot of ways. Yeah, that's problematic. I'm going to leave it there for Anton. We'll put this video out and we'll let the masses decide what to do with him. Now I understand there has to be a groundswell of people that have seen through this guy for what he really is. He's a guy who's now relying on rage bait. And unfortunately, I just gave him a little bit of shine on his rage bait. But that's what he's doing. He's using rage bait now to try to propel himself. But he lacks the charisma of a Charleston White. He lacks the analytical disposition to articulate it in a format that would be more, that would give him more credibility. He just doesn't have that. So he's going to have a hard time, man. But I think black people, we need to pull the plug on brothers like this. Brothers that dog out black Americans who are not as successful as them. You know, I don't rock with the liberal blacks. I don't roll with those that I don't roll with the people that with black Americans who are liberals who try to get us to roll into the Democratic Party. But this is not an alternative. Whatever this guy's doing, basically clapping for Becky's, caping for Becky's, that's not what to do. The most powerful people in America are white men. And that's just the way it is. And it's that way on purpose. That's the way they want it. For him to deny that these are realities in America is goofy. And then they come up here and cape for a white woman who is the most powerful person in America, except for white men who they're typically married to. It's kind of, to me, just like, to me, it's crazy that anybody could not, because anybody that could stomach Anton Daniels at this point. Folks, that white woman don't need Anton Daniels to come swooping in like Magilla Gorilla to save her. King Kong in it. She don't need that. She got white guys to do that. Y'all be good now. Let's go to the next video. He's still talking. He's still talking. Okay. This is interesting, guys. I want to cover this about Trump because I didn't realize this. So let's get to the beginning of this Trump.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Why doesn't somebody fight the drug price situation, meaning equalization? There's a term, it's called equalization. Nobody wants to mention that term. And I'm not knocking the drug companies. I'm really more knocking the countries than the drug companies because they're forced to do things. But the drug lobby is the strongest lobby in this country, they say, the drug lobby. It's between that and lawyers. And
hold on, man. Trump, if you're going to do it, he's going to do an executive order that will reduce prices by 30 to 80%. How could you not fault the drug companies? They are the companies that are making the profits, right? Like, I don't understand what you're doing here. Like, you're doing a good thing. This is an amazing thing. Amazing. I want to see this implemented. And I want to clap for this and say, yeah. But, bro, like, you start out the gate talking about this is other countries that cause this. No. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm going to let it play a little further. But I gotta pump the brakes. Now, the other countries aren't making money off of this, off our high prices. The pharmaceutical companies are. We got to go after the pharmaceuticals companies, right? Right?
they have a lot of power. But starting today, the United States will no longer subsidize the health care of foreign countries, which is what we were doing. We're subsidizing others' health care. Countries where they paid a small fraction of what, for the same drug, that what we pay many, many times more for. And we'll no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging from Big Pharma. But again, it was really the countries that forced Big Pharma to do things that, frankly, I'm not sure they really felt comfortable doing. But they've gotten away with it, these countries. European Union has been brutal.
Is Trump basically running interference? Like, is there a reason why he doesn't want trouble with the pharmaceutical companies? Like, Trump, you owe them some favors or something? And look, I don't care who you blame. You know what? This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you say the bad guy is. Just get the prices down. He gonna get the prices down. I don't care. If you cut a deal, if you told the pharmaceutical company, we're gonna make these cuts, but I'm not gonna let you be the bad guy. We're gonna put the bad guy on people that are outside the country, but we're gonna cut these prices. If that's the deal that you came to, Trump, I understand why you might not be able to articulate that. We can all be grown-ups here, right? I told y'all, these people that think that Trump is not a politician are living with their heads buried in the ground like an ostrich. He wasn't a politician. He is now. And I'm getting that impression that Trump has come with some type of agreement with the pharmaceutical companies that, hey, we got to get the prices down, but I will not vilify you. I will not do a Bernie Sanders. And maybe that's why Bernie couldn't get nothing done. Because he wanted to vilify them and cut their pockets too. Maybe they were like, we're never, ever cave into that. You're not giving us anything. Are you giving us lose-lose propositions? Maybe I'm on to something, Johnson. Let's see.
And the drug companies actually told me stories. It was just brutal how they forced them. And European Union suing all our companies, Apple, Google, Meta. They're suing all of our companies. They end up, they have judges that are European Union-centric, and they get rewarded $15 billion, $17 billion, $20 billion, and they use that to run their operation. Not going to happen any longer, that I can tell you. So what's been happening is we've been subsidizing other countries throughout the world, not just in Europe, throughout the world. European Union was the most difficult from what I understand. I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said,
oh, God. Hold on, man. Trump, man. Trump is crazy, man. Trump said it's not working. Man, subscribe to this channel for me, guys. Everybody hit subscribe for me. I got people watching. You're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You can always unsubscribe later if I piss you off, but hit the subscribe button. Trump is crazy, man. Go ahead, Trump.
He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on? He said, so I checked. And it's the same box, made in the same plant, by the same company. It's the identical pill that I buy in New York. And here I'm paying $88 in London. In New York, I'm paying $1,300. Now, this is a great businessman, but he's not familiar with this crazy situation that we have. But he was stunned. But it was just one of those stories. And
man, Trump, man, Trump. Look, guys, look. At the end of the day, if Trump, it's like I said, we do not care how you make the sausage. Just make the sausage, Johnson. And if what he has to do is let the pharmaceuticals save face, I don't care. I don't care. Get the prices down, Trump. Any way you get the prices down, get the prices down. I don't care if you got to throw it and blame the European Union, blame Israel. I don't care. Blame whoever. Get them damn prices down. Yeah, I want to go here to see what RFK Jr. has to say.
60, 70, 80, 90%, but actually more than, and I guess even 90%. So when I worked so hard in the first term, and if I got prices down, remember I was the only one to ever get prices down for a full year, but I'd get them down like 2%, and I thought it was like a big deal. Well, we're getting them down 60, 70, 80, 90%, but actually more than that if you think about it in the way mathematically. And Farmer has to say, we're sorry, but we'll not be able to do this any longer to these countries that have been so tough. They've been very tough, nasty.
This is an extraordinary day. This is an issue that, I grew up in the Democratic Party, and every major Democratic leader for 20 years has been making this promise to the American people. This was the fulcrum of Bernie Sanders' runs for presidency, that he was going to eliminate this discrepancy between Europe and the United States. But as it turns out, none of them were doing it. It's one of these promises that politicians make to their constituents, knowing that they'll never have to do it. And the reason they'll never have to do it is because they know that Congress is controlled in so many ways by the pharmaceutical industry. There's at least one pharmaceutical lobbyist for every congressman, every senator in Capitol Hill, and every member of the Supreme Court. By some estimates, 3. Pharmaceutical companies, the industry itself spends 3 times what the next largest lobbyist spends on lobbying. So this was an issue that people talked about, but nobody wanted to do anything because it was radioactive. They knew you couldn't get it by Congress. We now have a president who is a man of his word, who has the courage. President Trump was taking money from the pharmaceutical industry too. I think they gave you $100 million. But he can't be bought, unlike most of the politicians in this country. And he is standing here for the American people.
Yo!
Simply amazing.
Now, that's what I'm talking about, eh? I can rock with that.
Let me get this right. So Trump took their money and kicked them into Big Pharma. Folks, it don't get no better than this. He took their money. So basically, he did the same thing that the big pharma execs do, the nationwide execs do. He took their money and denied their claim. Oh, Big Pharma just had their claim denied. Sorry, can't do it. Lord have mercy, guys. This is what I'm talking about.
I don't know what, there's writers like Lord Elizabeth Warren or Robert Reich who are saying that President Trump is on this side of the oligarchs. There has never been a president more willing to stand up to the oligarchs than President Donald Trump. And I'm very, very proud of you, Mr. President, for your courage, I'll say, because I don't want to be crude, your intestinal fortitude, your stiff spine, and your willingness to stand up for the American people.
I want to get your reaction to the president's announcement on cutting prescription drug prices, Senator.
Well, President Trump just said that he's the one that improved Obamacare, which is actually flat out wrong.
No.
He tried over and over to repeal Obamacare when he was president the first time.
No.
And House Republicans are moving ahead this week.
Hey, Chrome Dome, we talking about the prescription price cuts. This bastard just slipped past the topic.
With their bill, which President Trump's asking for, that would cut millions of Americans off of health care. In the last administration, Democrats worked hard to pass legislation that reduces prescription drug prices and caps the out-of-pocket costs for Americans. So President Biden and Democrats...
No! Hell no! Man, see, this is the Democrats. When I say I'm a Democratic Party hater, there you go. There you go, right there. Do you see what he just did? She said, what do you think about Donald Trump cutting the prescription, the pharmaceutical prices? This Bama went on a crusade for Biden. Biden is a ghost. He ain't here no more. Isn't that what they always say? Biden's gone. The quarterback is toast like in Die Hard 2. Die Hard. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to jump to that. Obamacare. Get Obamacare out of here. We got people they couldn't even afford Obamacare, end up having to not have coverage and pay a penalty because they couldn't afford it. You're goofy. Look, man, we criticize Trump for one part, which is no immigration means no immigration, even white South Africans, Trump. But good job on the pharmaceutical cuts. Let's see that happen. I want to see that in fruition. I think everybody here, universally, Americans will appreciate it, even if the Democratic Party doesn't. Can't give credit where it's due. Somehow, Jasmine Sprocket and A.O. Nee, A.O. Creepy, are going to find a negative, going to say something negative, because they can't give Trump credit for anything. But we definitely give him credit for that. All right. Jesus Christ. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. The Democrats are going to try to play it down and make it a negative. Somehow saving Americans money is a negative. Never happy, never happy. Can't be. It's politics. All right, guys, let's go to the comment section. Who's in the house, Johnson? We got the Black Mamba in the house telling you to go get the Tim Black mug. I got orders going out this Thursday and Friday. I got some orders, folks. Be on my order train tomorrow. Go to timblackmug.com and make your order. $20 to your door. Forget that shipping and handling. It's on the house. I got number love for you. And expect some freebies in your box, because that's what I do. I send freebies along with the order to show appreciation and love to my supporters. Thank you for supporting independent media. Elizabeth, coming to join you, honey. Coming to join you, Elizabeth. Thank you for supporting the Tim Black Show as usual. Number love to you. Trust No Party is in the building. Thank you, Trust No Party, for what you do always. Ira Gordon. In regards to Puffy, why now? There's a running theme in Black independent media that white supremacy always breaks his toys when done. That's true. I've said it. Diddy ain't no different from Letitia or Fannie. Yeah, but see, yeah. Okay. Hey, I ain't asking like it's a bad thing. I mean, if he did it, he did it. I mean, this got to be, but what I am saying is I feel like there's something more at foot. Ira Gordon, Anton is a band. I broke my ankle off when he tried to check me on H-1B, and I've been a software engineer for 25 years. I have the screenshot on my Facebook. I don't know. Ira, what's up, Ira? Yeah, yeah, okay. You talk a lot of smack like he knows something when he doesn't. It was a horrible segment. But see, he's trying to play to a certain group of the internet where he doesn't have to make sense. He can just say any old nonsense and criticizes poor people because they have vilified poor people, frankly. So if you up here vilifying poor Black people, you're going after the people with the least amount of power, who are the least people that can negatively impact your wallet. So that's all he did. He a scumbag for that. That's all. There are poor people all across this country. Millions of people don't have a lot of money in this country. Millions. As someone who's been to several places, various states, various cities, I can tell you, there are not a lot of Black people in America. My friend Dana Mitchell came through. Keep rocking. The old lady is listening. This old lady is listening. Thank you, Dana, for what you do. We appreciate you as always. Give it up for Dana. Dana, I got to get you a Tim Black mug. Come on now. I got to see you a couple Tim Black mugs. Hit me up. Contact me, Dana, at tim@timblacktv.com so I can get you a couple mugs out to you and your family. A couple mugs to enjoy your coffee, your tea, or what have you. Just to show my appreciation for you doing what you do. Spice Radio 504, thank you, Tim, for another great show. Thank you, my brother. Sent you an email. Thank you, Spice Radio. I appreciate you. Joella Francis, great show. Love the BS detector. I told you I had you this time. Yeah. It's all about the coverage. If the stories warrant it, I try to make sure to include it. Thank you, Joella. I appreciate you. Folks, that's all I got tonight. That's it. That's all I got. It was a full lineup for tonight. That's it. That's all. Look, thank you for coming through to the Tim Black Show. Don't forget, we'll be back Wednesday with more content. Check your timelines for new videos. I got to put videos out. So we will be doing that. But number love to everyone. And thank you for being here tonight. And remember, don't you let anybody take your cornbread, Johnson. That's your cornbread. And part of what we do here is we tell America the raw truth that we deserve. Somebody got to be honest. Somebody's got to call it straight. Someone's got to be real about what's happening. I'm a Democratic Party hater. But that don't mean Trump gets an easy walk when he's wrong. Just he's not wrong about everything. He's right about the pharmaceutical. So we got people that say Trump is the Antichrist. But they're not going to admit that if he actually does cut pharmaceuticals 30, 80%, something that Democrats have only been talking about, as RFK talked about, but not getting done, that doesn't impact you. You don't have anything positive to say. Well, it is what it is. That's why I say it's Trump derangement syndrome. And it's got to be something. They got Democrat delusion. DDS, Democrat delusion syndrome. Because they're deluded and they're thinking the Democrats are the good guys. All right, guys, that's it. I got nothing but love for you. I see you on Wednesday, and I'll see you back on the channel tomorrow. Be safe. And as always, I got to add my outro. Got to play my girls, man. Where are my ladies at? Where are my ladies? Oh, there go my girls. Much love, y'all.